In college football, this is one team that has never lost a game. It's a team with a different lineup every year. It is a team that never suits up, but a team whose roster lists more record-setting performers than any team anywhere. Its players are the best at their positions and all share in the pride of this oldest tradition in college football. For 90 years, this honor has been their reward for a season of excellence. For they are the finest 22 players in college football, the 1979 All-America football team.
I'm Charlie McClendon, head football coach of Louisiana State University, and this year's president of the American Football Coaches Association. In my 17 years at LSU, I've had the satisfaction of coaching 11 All-Americans, and I personally know what this honor means to a young man. It is now my pleasure to introduce the finest collegiate players of 1979, the All-America football team.
55! 15-T!
He barks the signals and calls the plays.
Weak, bootleg right off 27. Sit!
It may be an airstrike on a simple down and in. Or he may lead the charge himself.
Get it, Willie!
He's the quarterback. In a game of inches, he knows the bitter frustration of a near miss. But when the ball is on target, he savors the sweet taste of success. 1979 was a year of great quarterbacks, and sophomore Art Schleister of Ohio State proved to be one of the greatest as he led the Buckeyes to a Rose Bowl berth. Senior Paul McDonald of Southern Cal directed the Trojans to an undefeated regular season. Only a junior, Mark Herman took over as Purdue's all-time leading passer, topping the records of Len Dawson, Mike Phipps, and Bob Greasy. But no other college signal caller could match the brilliant record of senior Mark Wilson of Brigham Young. Wilson, a former high school pitcher and basketball star, led the nation in total offense. He threw for over 3,700 yards, an NCAA record, and fired 29 touchdown passes, more than any other college quarterback. Wilson also set another NCAA mark, throwing for more than 300 yards in 9 consecutive games. Mark Wilson, the coach's choice for All-America quarterback. The receivers, super talented specialists with fancy moves and lightning speed. Good hands are a basic requirement, but it's total concentration that separates the good from the best. And this year's All-American selections are in a class by themselves. Senior Junior Miller of Nebraska has the size and speed for a premier tight end. An all-state basketball player in high school, Junior made the transition to football at the urging of his coach.
At first it was depressing, because I was sitting on the bench and wasn't getting enough action, and I didn't think I could make it. And I was going to quit, but he talked me out to coming in again, so I stuck with it.
As a Cornhusker, Junior saw plenty of action. Playing a key role in Nebraska's 1979 Cotton Bowl season, Miller has become the most prolific tight end in Husker history. Junior Ken Marjoram of Stanford is one of the top receivers in the nation with his jet-propelled acceleration and exceptional hands. The most memorable highlight in number 28 season was his all-around play against USC, including a clutch touchdown reception, earning Stanford a thrilling tie with the unbeaten Trojans. Junior Miller and Ken Marjoram, both Kodak All-American. At Louisiana State University, football is an important mainstay, with Coach Charlie McClendon at the helm for the past 17 years. Under his tutelage, the Tigers appeared in 13 postseason bowl games.
Come on, Jerry. It's in there tough, but it was right there, partner. Right where you want it, on the money. Get rid of him, that boy. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. That's the baby. Not too bad a form.
With over 135 victories to their credit, McClendon and his staff won almost 70% of their contests. Twice voted SEC Coach of the Year, McClendon has also been rewarded with National Coach of the Year tribute. He is indeed a popular choice as this year's president of the American Football Coaches Association.
Now you get a little bit of an idea of what kind of price these people have to pay to become All-Americans.
A man who's paid that price is center Jim Richer of North Carolina State, a Kodak All-American for the second straight year. Number 51 has the size the coaches look for in frontline blockers, but it's his technique that makes him so effective. For his efforts, Richer was rewarded with the Heisman Trophy as the nation's best interior lineman. Strength is the key to success for senior Greg Colenda of Arkansas. Number 73 is the strongest player on the Razorback squad and uses his power most effectively, providing pass block protection for his quarterback. Senior Melvin Jones of Houston is a massive 270-pounder in the Cougars' clawing attack. He's rated by the coaches as the Southwest's most devastating blocker. Winning is synonymous with Alabama football, and part of the responsibility rests in the hands of offensive tackle Jim Bunch. Number 63 was a key factor in Alabama's successful season as the Crimson Tide rolled to #1 ranking in the national poll. A highly motivated player, Bunch relies on strength and mobility for his superior performance. The big senior's aggressive blocking and spirited play contributed to his selection as a Kodak All-American. At USC, it's the linemen that help make the tailbacks great, and senior Brad Buddy fits Coach John Robinson's mold of the ideal player.
My job for offensive lineman is on a given play to block the opposition to me, either a linebacker or a defensive tackle, according to the play. Hopefully, if I time up enough, you'll see Charlie White running down the field.
Yet, as Buddy's wife Tammy suggests, there must be a streak of aggressiveness.
On the field, I think he's very mean. I think you have to be good. He puts on his game face, usually sometime Friday before a game on Saturday. So he gets himself kind of psyched out for it, and that's when he starts getting mean. That's when I kind of know to stay away from him.
The son of former All-Pro guard Ed Buddy, Brad has maintained the family's winning heritage, taking a place in the coach's offensive line. Each year, members of the coach's All-American squad are flown to a sunny Southland resort for a postseason vacation.
On behalf of American Airlines, this is your captain welcoming aboard the Kodak All-Americans.
The players have a unique opportunity to meet their All-America teammates and swap gridiron experiences. Their official duties are minimal, and they spend their leisure time sightseeing. The camaraderie of the weekend is a well-deserved reward for a season of hard work and accomplishment.
All right, now, let's show what we're going to do with the forearm. Give me one good forearm lick and move off in your defensive end position, okay? Kind of key the ball or the man, whichever moves first. Attaboy. That's the idea. That's the way you work to the outside. You don't have many friends outside, but you got a few inside. You got to be ready to get out there. Okay, now this time, I want you to give the hand shiver about 3 good licks this time, and then move off in the pursuit angle. Attaboy. Keep those elbows tight, keep them tight, and move off. That's very good. You know, this will give you a little bit of an idea, just the basic fundamentals that defensive linemen have to go through to become great football players.
When the coaches started picking the defensive stalwarts in college football, the name of Pitt's Hugh Green always ranked near the top. Number 99 is so fleet-footed, he can travel cross-field to wreak his special brand of havoc. One of the most devastating tacklers of recent years, Green's intense play helped earn Pitt a trip to the Fiesta Bowl. With more than 110 tackles to his credit in '79, Hugh Green is an overwhelming choice for Kodak All-America honors. The Michigan Wolverines under head coach Bo Schembechler are perennial challengers for the Big Ten title. Curtis Greer, their big defensive tackle, contributed mightily to Michigan's championship record. The 6'5", 250-pound senior racked up more tackles for lost yardage than anyone else in Wolverine history. At Texas, football is a way of life, and senior tackle Steve McMichael kept the Longhorns near the top of the heap. It's easy to spot number 99. You'll find him where the action is. Known to his teammates as the Incredible Hulk, McMichael led the Longhorns in total tackles. Steve knows no other way than to play each down as if it were the most important in the game. Senior Bruce Clark of Penn State climaxed his brilliant career as a 2-time Kodak All-American. Quick and agile, Clark won the 1978 Lombardi Trophy, awarded the nation's top lineman or linebacker. He is so quick that opposing players often don't have any time to react. Clark's tremendous strength is another prime asset. He is able to bench press an incredible 565 pounds.
Blocker, yeah. Come on, baby.
Bruce Clark, color him awesome, and then some.
Okay.
This year, the Seminoles of Florida State took no prisoners, and Ron Simmons, their feisty junior nose guard, spurred the attack. Number 50 was the main reason FSU remained undefeated in regular season play and ranked in the national top 5. With the wings of Mercury attached to his feet, Simmons was super quick at diagnosing the play and making the tackle. He's another great defensive lineman. The Baylor Bears can drink to a great season this year with linebacker Mike Singletary as toastmaster. Described as the most intense player in the Southwest, number 63 averaged more than 17 tackles per game. Rugged and relentless, Mike holds Baylor's all-time tackling records, and he's quick to pick off any stray passes in his territory. Oklahoma fans love their Sooners, and linebacker George Cumbie is high on their hit list. Number 28 came to Oklahoma as an offensive back, but switched to defense to capitalize on his exceptional linebacking skill. because of his extreme quickness and speed, he can fill the gaps from sideline to sideline.
What I like is going across the field on a back, starting to cut up, because he don't see me coming, but I see him, and as soon as he cut up, you know, I'm right on him.
But the senior from Gorman, Texas, has an even greater passion.
Intercepting a pass, you know, getting a chance to show my running back ability once again.
1979 was a great year for George Cumbie and the Sooners. They took the Big 8 championship and earned a ticket to the Orange Bowl. Senior David Hodge of Houston also had an outstanding year. Number 42 of the Cougars specialized in pouncing out opposing ball carriers. And he could rise to the occasion when rival quarterbacks took to the air. For David Hodge, All-American linebacker was a fitting climax to a great football season. Down south in Tennessee, Coach Johnny Major's resurgent Volunteers rallied around their All-American defensive back, number 14, Roland James. At 6'3", the Vol senior had the height to survey the secondary and pick off oncoming football. Yet he also had the quickness to sneak into the backfield on a blitz. Senior Johnny Johnson of Texas is no stranger to the coach's All-American team. He's making his second appearance this year. A great instinctive defender, Johnson can stay with just about anybody on deep pass routes. A sociology major, Johnny Johnson has started every game since his freshman year. He has the speed of a halfback and hits like a linebacker. A junior, UCLA's Ken Easley, completes the coach's star-studded defensive backfield. Ranging far and wide, Easley excels as an open field tackler, yet even Ken admits it's not an easy task.
It's a hard position back there because so many people are affecting you at one time. You got receivers, you got running backs, linemen that come out to block you. So you have to be a bit intense and a bit, scared too at the same time. You have to go out there with the idea of that, you're going to defeat any obstacle that's in your way. So I enjoy it, and I just hope I can continue to play hard and keep that name of being a hard hitter.
The crashing drums, the rhythmic beat, the screaming cheers, the stamping feet. In weather fair and weather foul, they make us scream, they make us howl. The cheerleaders, mascots, bands, and such add that special crowning touch.
Once again, in 1979, most of the headline makers of college football were the running backs. There were so many great ones, this made our selection very difficult. We coaches, however, either saw them in person or we studied them on film.
And study they did. Upwards of 1,500 game films and columns of statistics were analyzed by the coaches. On the basis of their evaluations, the final selections were determined. The competition for running back was fierce, with 3 exceptionally talented players emerging to take top honors. Vegas Ferguson of Notre Dame burst into national prominence in the '77 Cotton Bowl against the Longhorns of Texas. Number 32 of the Fighting Irish is a gifted runner who relies almost entirely on instinct when he's on the loose. He lets the heat of battle determine his line of attack.
You can't watch yourself run, so I feel when I'm out there on the field, I just try to do what I do natural. I don't think ahead, to the moves I'm going to make or whatever. You just try to do the best you can and do whatever comes natural.
The senior from Richmond, Indiana, gained more yardage than any other runner in Irish history, topping the career totals of the Four Horsemen and even the legendary George Gipp. His selection as a Kodak All-American is the culmination of an unprecedented career at Notre Dame.
An All-American is always thought of as a good player, and in that sense, I would like to be known, when I leave, as being a good player. And if All-American kind of makes that, it kind of makes the whole 4 years here really worthwhile.
Vegas Ferguson is proud of attaining All-American status. He has combined natural talent with hard work to take a place of honor among the outstanding running backs. Oklahoma has a proud tradition of great rushers, and among the greatest is Billy Sims. Billy is another two-time All-American with this year's selection. Winner of the 1978 Heisman Trophy, number 20, has been a valuable asset to the Sooner offense and Coach Barry Switzer.
Having a superstar football player adds a tremendous dimension to any football team. Billy is the type of player that can make things happen. He can get something on his own. He can turn a bad play into a big play. And all the great players have this innate ability to do those things. The Greg Pruitts, the Joe Washingtons, the superstar players we've had in the past were the same type of player. Billy Sims is that same mold.
Sims has it all: size, strength, quickness, and dazzling moves. He can run from either the wishbone or the I formation with equal success. But Billy is quick to offer praise to his offensive line for contributing to his accomplishments.
The lines, the guys up front, really what makes a running back. I don't think a running back can be really an outstanding running back if he doesn't have the material and the people can open up the holes for him up front.
Once those holes are open, the senior from Hooks, Texas takes off like a rocket. In crucial situations, Billy gets the hard yardage with brute strength and rugged determination. In 1979, Billy became the NCAA all-time yards per carry leader, averaging just over 7 yards. This, along with his other numerous records and awards, has made him the center of attention for both the national media and his own Sooner fans. Pretty girls are a vital part of the legend at the University of Southern California. So are great tailbacks, and two-time Kodak All-American Charles White is one of the best. The senior tailback is the all-time ground gainer at Southern Cal and the second leading rusher in NCAA history, behind Tony Dorsett. A dual threat in the backfield, Charles led the nation in yards gained and was the top all-purpose runner in the country, but he still finds time to pursue one of his favorite hobbies, the piano.
Well, when I first started playing piano, it was back in, I think, in elementary, I can call. I had a teacher that I used to stay after school and just bang around on his piano. I wasn't making much sound, just having a little fun, making noise. I got into it my junior high year, and I started at a jazz class. And I really didn't learn much. It was just a privilege just to sit in front of a piano and play it and run your fingers across 88 keys and being able to make some sounds out of it. But, as I say, I'm not a good piano player. I can't read and I can't write it, but I can, play a little bit to where it satisfied me.
White's running prowess has put him on the top of the list of extraordinary USC runners. Men like Mike Garrett, Anthony Davis, Ricky Bell, and the legendary O.J. Simpson. Charles White has outrun them all. In 1979, he averaged more than 180 yards per game, a whopping 40 yards more than his closest competition. Charles White, this year's Heisman Trophy winner, and an overwhelming selection as an All-American runner.
you've seen the finest college football players of 1979. Each one has worked long and hard to achieve this special honor. And now, speaking for the American Football Coaches Association, let me thank all of you fans for making this such a great year for college football.